Hi, this is Ray from soyachinchao.com and welcome to a very special episode of ICYMI where I'm going to talk about a couple of affordable smartphones that's launched in Malaysia so far in 2019. So let's get into it. So let's start off with the Galaxy A30 and M20. So these two devices are actually pretty much similar because these two devices are actually priced at 799 ringgit and they get the same processor which is an Exynos 7904 processor that's mated to 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. The difference is the Galaxy A30 gets a slightly larger 6.4-inch Super AMOLED display while the M20 gets a 6.3-inch LCD display. However, the Galaxy M20 features a larger 5000 mAh battery that charges via USB-C, while the Galaxy A30 only gets a 4000 mAh battery that charges via USB-C. And if you are willing to fork out an extra 400 ringgit, you can consider getting the Galaxy A50 for better specifications. The Galaxy A50 features a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED display and it also gets an Exynos 9610 processor that's mated up to 6 gigs of RAM and a generous amount of 128 gigs of internal storage. It also gets a triple camera setup that consists of a 25 megapixel main camera, a 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens and also a 5 megapixel for depth effects. It also gets a 25 megapixel camera for selfies. It also gets a 4000 mAh battery that charges via USB-C. And similar to some of the flagship smartphones out there, it also gets an in-display fingerprint scanner. If you are someone who hates the notches, you can consider purchasing the Vivo V15 or the Oppo F11 Pro because both of these devices features a pop-up selfie camera. Both of these devices are priced at 1399 ringgit and it gets a 6.5-inch Full HD Plus LCD display, a MediaTek Helio P70 processor that's mated up to 6 gigs of RAM. Besides that, both of these devices also gets a 4000 mAh battery, but unfortunately it still charges via micro USB. But the Vivo V15 gets 128 gigs of internal storage while the Oppo F11 Pro gets a disappointing 64 gigs of storage. But if you are someone who likes to take wide-angle shots, the Vivo V15 comes with a triple camera setup that consists of a 12 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens, plus a 5 megapixel camera for depth effects. The Oppo F11 Pro, however, only gets a 48 megapixel main camera plus a 5 megapixel camera for depth effects. To compensate for this, the Oppo F11 Pro gets a dedicated nightscape mode where you can capture greater pictures under low light conditions as claimed by Oppo. The Vivo V15 gets a 32 megapixel selfie camera while the Oppo F11 Pro gets only a 16 megapixel selfie camera. If you don't want your pop-up selfie camera to go wrong, there is also the Huawei Nova 4E and it is only priced at 1199 ringgit, just like the Samsung Galaxy A50. But unlike the Samsung Galaxy A50, you'll be getting a smaller 6.15-inch LCD display, a Kirin 710 processor that's mated up to 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. In terms of camera, it also gets a 24 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens and also a 2 megapixel camera for depth effect. In terms of selfie, it comes with a 32 megapixel camera. Powering the device is a rather disappointing 3340 mAh battery, but it charges via USB-C, so that's a good thing. Now let's talk about the Redmi Note 7. So the Redmi Note 7 base model with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage is priced at 649 ringgit, while the higher spec variant with 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage is priced at 949 ringgit. So the Redmi Note 7 features a 6.3-inch LCD display and also an upper mid-range Snapdragon 660 processor. It also gets a 48 megapixel plus 5 megapixel dual camera setup and also a 30 megapixel camera for selfies. It also gets a rather large 4000 mAh battery with support of Quick Charge 4 via USB-C. If the devices I mentioned just now is too pricey for you, don't worry, there's also the Honor 8C and also the Redmi 7. So these two devices comes in 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage and it is only priced at 599 ringgit. The Redmi 7 also comes in another spec variant where it only comes with 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of internal storage. But the good news is it is only priced at 499 ringgit. So these devices features a 6.26-inch LCD display and also a Snapdragon 632 processor. Both of these devices also gets a dual camera setup and also an 8 megapixel selfie camera. It also gets 4000 mAh battery that charges via micro USB, which is fairly standard. But if you need more memory in your smartphone, there's also the Realme Tree. The Realme Tree comes in 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage and it is priced at 699 ringgit. There's also another version with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage, and it is priced at 599 ringgit, just like the Honor 8C and Redmi 7. So the Realme Tree comes with a 6.22-inch LCD display and also a MediaTek Helio P60 processor. In terms of camera, it comes with a 30MP plus 2MP dual camera setup and also a 30MP camera for selfies. Keeping the lights on is a 4230mAh battery that charges via micro USB. So did we miss any mid-range or budget smartphones? If we do, let us know in the comments below. So that's all from me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also hit the notification bell icon so that we're informed whenever we post a new video. So do check out our latest video here. And also last episode of ICYMI here. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!